uh, a challenging year, to say the least, with the pandemic. And health and fitness has become even more critical than ever before. Functional movement system, FMS, your company is at the forefront, very uniquely positioned. So let's start with that. If you can talk about your company, your organization, and more importantly, how is FMS continuing to innovate and continuing to find new business models and new revenue channels to drive growth for the future?
Yeah, it's definitely been challenging for everyone in pretty much every field. And first and foremost, thank you all for allowing me to be part of this, and anything that I can share that can certainly help is tremendous. Yeah, so our company, Functional Movement Systems, or FMS, has been around for quite a while, primarily educating fitness professionals, physical therapists, chiropractors in the health and fitness world, educating them, and so they can, in turn, help their clients and their patients and athletes perform at a higher level, and again, overall be more healthy. And typically the way we traditionally have taught those professionals is really in two ways, and that's both live education and online education. So we were really early on teaching online education. I think it's been 10 years now when we actually put up our first online for sale education. Before that, we were doing the DVDs, and even before that, we were doing some VHS tapes. So I'm showing my age a little bit, but we were really, I feel like, ahead of the curve a little bit with providing online education. But still, with what we do, it's really, you need that interaction, you need that touch. And what the pandemic did for us, we had to get away from that, and we had to quickly pivot to just focusing online. And in the health and fitness industry, it's really taken a huge blow, not having that interaction, whether it's been physical therapists and doctors and physicians not having the patients come in to get treatment, or whether it's the fitness professionals not having their clients come in. So, we're looking at people who are losing their paychecks, losing their jobs potentially, certainly not wanting to go out and spend money on education. And of course, for us, we had to, stop doing our live education, which for us, having the platform to deliver online education already in place, already having a lot of our education, it was very easy for us to pivot and focus on that. But interesting enough, it also, we saw an uptick in online education sales. So we lost, obviously, revenue, and we lost the ability to do that live interaction, but online revenue and online opportunities increased quite a bit. And we started doing more of those. Because we have our own in-house studio and we have our own production team, we're able to do a lot more education, a lot more online offerings. So we really, not traveling and getting in front of people, we just pivoted and started doing a lot more online, and it's paid off for us quite well.
FMS is also funding a lot of the innovation initiatives, and consumer experience, your user experience is central, right, into your strategy, into your business. If you can talk about how are you modernizing your product development and new functionality and capability to make sure it's transforming the consumer and user experiences?
Yeah, I think the use of technology and the platforms and the applications that we really need, because of what we teach individuals how to evaluate the body and how to check their movements and look at certain things like, can you touch your toes? Can you squat? And really what we teach is how to score those. And based off the information, we can then generate results. So in essence, we have a software logical system that we teach, and it makes sense for us to leverage that logic in a software platform. And that's really what we transitioned to a number of years ago. And for basically some guys who have no background in technology or software, we really leaned heavily on the experts in that field, such as Sunera, helping us with being able to take what we have in our heads and being able to leverage that and be able to deliver that. And that's been, for us, it's been very challenging, but it's also been very rewarding to see kind of the wireframe, if you guys in your talk, how we lay that out. And then what that's allowed us also to do, when some of these professionals that we teach, we want to give them the resources to use that in their practice and in their gyms. So they input the data, and then that data gets spit out a report and gets spit out some recommendations. But also that data, what we've also started using is using that data to continue to tweak our message and help us continue to evolve as an organization, as an education company. So we knew going in, we definitely needed the data, but we also needed a development team around us to allow us to access it, but also create the user experience on the front end. So again, people would be more likely to input the data. And again, what I continue to learn is how important that data can be, but also how you got to go into the process early on and set it up the right way so you can access it at a later time. So, again, there's so many moving parts and so much happening behind the scenes that I was not aware of, that we have to think about and consider if we really want to leverage not just the providing the resources to our customers, but being able to leverage that data on the back end.
You mentioned technology, which is critical in today's environment, in particular as you're modernizing your landscape. Can you talk about how you're leveraging partners like SuneraTech through this journey of modernization, through this journey of adopting cloud and new ways of working? Yeah,
I mean, that kind of feeds off a little bit what I said earlier, is we are a small company. We're a small company, even though we're a fairly large brand in our space, but we are a small company, and we are self-funding all of our technology. And I think that's the challenge is, when we know in our heads what we want and what we think, at the end of the day, think the consumer wants, or our professionals, we want to build that and put the resources into that. And it's a gamble, it's a risk. We're certainly working, and I think we've got a great product that we've got in version 1. I mean, we're still looking at version 1 as far as an application, and it spends, we're spending a lot of resources in doing that. Now we have to spend the resources to get it in front of people. And there's no guarantee that, people are going to be, people are going to buy it. So there's always going to be that risk reward. And that's just the nature of, owning a small business is, understanding that you've got to leverage technology in a way, but you also have to leverage in a way that at the end of the day, people are going to use it. And I think that's, just as much money and time has to go into building it as it does getting it in front of people. So it's self-funding it and putting resources to it has to be very, very strategic.
Those are some amazing thoughts and learnings, Lee. We're all living in an ecosystem, and I know FMS partners with multiple organizations, whether it's hospitals or gyms or even athletes and insurance companies. Can you talk about your sort of partnership strategy and how you're innovating with the broader ecosystem?
Yeah, it's very important for a company like ours. We're a small company, and our brand is pretty well known in our space, in the health and fitness world. But we're still a small company, and it's really important that we have strategic relationships to help get our message out. We don't have a team of experts. We don't have a marketing department that has a bunch of people. We're limited in that area. We're partnering with people to help us build our technology. But for us, we have to find those strategic relationships, working with hospitals, clinics, gyms, and getting them and working with those decision makers, those business owners, is very, very important to help us reach the people we want to reach, and leveraging, again, technology in a way that, is going to, make sure that we align. We definitely vetted certain people that don't align with what we're trying to do. So it's that alignment and that relationship is critical for us to reach the people we want to reach with. Leveraging different pieces of education, technology, Blackboard is something that, I was a former educator, so it's very, very important right now during this time that you leverage and get that right partnership. But it's important that you don't. To me, we look at it as more of a very much a relationship, not so much as just a business partnership. Thanks,
Lee. One final question. 2021 is not too far away. So as we look in the future, if you could share what is your vision for FMS as you look 2-3 years down the road?
So it's very important as as the owner of the business, have to go out and determine who's going to be the best partner and create that relationship, and specifically technology. And what, the relationship we built with Sunera has been tremendous, because at the end of the day, it is risky. We are taking a risk. We are really self-funding these initiatives, self-funding, in this instance, our application. It's a risk. We're investing, we're putting the resources into it. And I think, again, we really rely on the development team, on the team leaders, to help us take what's in our head and to get it out there, and really help us make sure that it's going to be good on the user end. The user experience is where it needs to be. And Sunera, I think the one positive, one of the better things that I've been, really appreciative of, is knowing that during this time, with so many unknowns over the last 12 months, with the pandemic and everything, that we've been, Sunera has really been flexible in how, again, working with a small company, knowing my budget is limited, knowing this is a new product, very much, why I feel like I've got a good partnership, and it's working through and navigating through a lot of those unknowns when we are self-funding, we are putting so much resources into it, has been great. And I think anytime we're looking for a relationship, that's one of the main things we're looking for.